you are witness at the moment to the first time we have ever, as the Friends of King Alfred Buses, managed to put all our fleet, 15 vehicles, in a line, and they've all driven here, and they're all driven out. They'll all drive out again afterwards, and hopefully you'll come out and ride on them this afternoon. So we're very proud of our fleet, and we're very proud of our members, and we have about 200 people who are members of the Friends of King Alfred Buses, and because we are such a wide family and we've been going since 1985, inevitably not all our friends stay with us forever. And the reason that we are gathered here right now is that there's a particular friend that we are here to remember today, and this bus, which is 592, Leyland Atlantean, and this was his favourite, and he was Pete Staples. He was one of the very early members of the Friends of King Alfred Buses, and one of the people who have supported our activities through thick and thin, and done huge amounts over the years to get our fleet as you see it on the left and on the right. But his favourite bus, ladies and gentlemen, was this one, 592. And we decided with the family, with Mo here, Maureen, his wife, widow I suppose, we decided that it would be a very good idea to put a little note in the bus to record the fact that this bus is dedicated to the memory of Pete Staples. And it says, in memory of Pete Staples, who loved this bus and did so much to restore and preserve it. So Mo, come forward, let's have a look. I'd just like to say thank you, Mo. Thank you, my son. So, ladies and gentlemen, 592, Pete Staples bus. Thank you very much indeed. So thank you very much for coming and supporting us. And remember, these buses only exist because of your money. If you have any of it, we want it. And we know how to spend it in the big style, I can tell you. So the way you support us, apart from literally giving us £1 million, which would be very nice, but not many can do it, is this chap here has demonstrated. This is our programme. If you buy one of those, you give us £5, and that helps to support what we're doing. We don't charge, we can't charge, but we do spend money like water. And we have a project for the preservation, restoration of a Leyland Titan. It's our last big project, and that is in its last stages. We need to raise £20,000 to finish that project. So we're hoping that today will help us to do that. Everybody who goes on our buses will get a piece of paper to remind you, and it's really easy giving money to us. You just go on the website, just donate. Really easy, yeah? After a week of amazing sunshine and temperatures exceeding everything we expect in September, we actually are sitting here in St Catherine's, Winchester on a wet, well, almost wet afternoon. But we are celebrating the Friends of King Alfred Buses by demonstrating our whole fleet, from the oldest Leyland Lion right through to the most modern 1970 Leyland Panther. But I'm standing in front of 326 CAA. So this is 326 CAA. It's a 1961 Bedford SB3, which means it has a petrol engine. So it absolutely gollops down fuel. At this moment in our lives, very expensive to run. But nonetheless, really smooth and really quiet, actually, as long as you're not actually sitting on top of the engine as the driver does. There's the cab. It has a very special body by Harrington. It's called a Harrington Crusader. Here it is. There weren't very many of these built, so it's quite unusual, and it's a very rare survivor indeed. There are very, very few of these in preservation. It has the chrome wheel discs, the sliding door with its Harrington Coachworks inside here, and the door manually sliding, of course. Here the name Chisnall, just to remind us that this is a King Alfred vehicle, and it has unusual design with spats over the back wheels, all part of making it look a bit different. Round the back we have a boot that opens, and there's quite a capacious luggage capacity, so you could take all your stuff away with you. And round the back we come round to the all-important place where the petrol goes in. This is where the money goes, down the pipe. And if you look at the general design of it, of course, very light and airy. It has windows above the main windows and makes the interior extremely spacious and very easy for people to see all around them. It lasted with King Alfred until about 1969, and then it was sold to a company near Basingstoke called O Porter of Dummer. O stop Porter, not O exclamation mark Porter. And it was painted blue. There were two others, 325 and 327. They worked for Porters for quite a while into the 1970s. Eventually, this coach fell into the hands of the Totten Majorettes, and it took groups of girls around to do their stuff, dancing and taking part in shows and so on. And by that time the seats, which are the usual King Alfred Sunglow red and white moquette, were very, very faded and battered. And so the owners started to recover them, and they got about 2/3 of them done in a completely new and different sort of design, when eventually they gave up. Now, fast forward to 1985, the Friends of King Alfred Buses is very new, just been formed, and it came to notice of one of our members, Chris Kent, that this coach was available. It was sitting in a car park on Waterside at Totton. It was for sale, we found, and it was possible to persuade the owner to sell it to the Friends of King Alfred buses, which is exactly what happened. We became the proud owners of a blue Bedford SB3 in rather battered condition, but nonetheless functioning. Now, once we'd taken it into the fleet, it was a few years before we decided to spend some real effort and money on getting it retrimmed, so it was all, the seats were all recovered, and also repainted and generally tidied up. And the condition you see her in today is largely as was done in 1993. So being in preservation, still a head turner. Wherever we take this coach, people stand and stare at it, and rightly so, because it's something quite unusual and we're really proud of it. So here we are, it's end of the day, 5:30, a tiring day, a disappointing day for weather, but not for anything else. So lots of people have come ride the number 11s with us, and the number 10s, and the Dennis and the Albion, and of course the Lion that's behind me right now. We've had another good day remembering the King Alfred Motor Services of the past, and we've celebrated a couple of our long-serving members who we've lost in the last year. So we dedicated a bus earlier in the day to Pete Staples, and all his family were present to see that. And later this afternoon we had Jeff and Dee Norris's family here to see the unveiling of the plaque in their memory, just reminding us of these people who were our friends, who played such a significant part in the history and development of the Friends of King Alfred buses. But of course it's us that plays the part now, and it's all our friends, it's you who are watching this, it's our ability to raise money from you that keeps this show on the road. So don't forget that we need all the time to be raising money from you, from your friends, our friends, everybody else, because this is an expensive
entertainment. But we think a worthwhile one, and we've had a great day today, noticed and noted by the Mayor herself, who came and had a great time looking at all our vehicles and meeting our volunteers and meeting some of the public and understanding what an important job we do. So here it is, the sun's out now, end of the day, time to go home. Thank you for watching, thank you for supporting us, and don't forget we're out 3 times a year, in January, next time New Year's Day, May of the next year, and September are 3 major events for the Friends of King Alfred Buses. So thank you and goodbye.
Ready, 3, 2,